It's time for the MCTS experience with Mr. Orfe and Mr. Nash. Discover your passion and unlock your future.
Welcome, everybody, to the start of the 2020-2021 school year, Mercer County Technical Schools, the MCTS Experience podcast. Mr. Nash, how are you, my friend?
I'm excellent. Very excited to get the show on the road. We've already activated the MCTS machine, and we are surpassing expectations and excited to share all the goings on.
The wheels are in motion. The train is leaving the station. Get on board. Just want a quick hello to Nick MacGyver-Sikowski, our engineer over there. How are you, sir?
Hello, everybody. Doing well. I'm here. Going.
First time ever his voice has been released on the air, everyone.
I think it's once or twice before, but it's a new year.
He speaks. We're giving him a mic. So, Nash, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm very excited about the beginning of the school year. New students coming in. It was not how we thought this was going to work out at the end of last year or the beginning of this year. But you know what? I'm proud of our students. First of all, they are like rising to the occasion. We got students who have finally gone, well, look, this is it. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to learn. It's not perfect, but I like it, and I'm going to make it happen. You know,
you have to embrace the change, and I don't mean to sound like a poster that you would see in a corporate office or perhaps a dentist or a chiropractor. But the reality is we have to move forward as a family and as a team and as a school. And our students really exemplify that mindset of doing things in a way that other people don't do it. And that has to do with our subject matter, our learning environment, our co-op and internships experience. It really is the nucleus of who MCTS is, honestly.
Yeah. Teachers too. Teachers have stepped up very much with Google Classroom, live instruction, videos of instruction, trying to do as much hands-on stuff as possible for the students. And we're just going to keep, as you like to say, grinding, right? We're going to grind it out.
If there's yes, the reality is, you know, this is not going to be forever. And once we get the green light to get back in, I think you're going to see an intensity and a veracity to really dive into the hands-on component. So the theory element can really be conquered during this time. And I think that's what we're seeing our instructional staff really place an emphasis on initially. And the bonus part is if you're a senior or a second-year share time student, so senior academy student or a second-year share time student in any program, you're eligible to go out on co-op internships. And this was the first week of school. I handed out 7 CIE folders and met with the equal amount of employers already about hiring students that worked in the trade area in the summer, safe, following COVID guidelines, and they're going to go to school and get paid once the proper documentation is returned back to my department. So if you're hearing this and you're a senior, you can work in your career area of study and talk with your teacher, and I'll come to your Google Classroom. So that's the beauty of it. You know, if you come to MCTS and you have a year under your belt, at least you can go out to work. So
now, if you're a parent, right, and you're listening to this, give them a little bit more about what CIE is exactly, and then the advantages of it, and things like that. Well,
I appreciate that. So CIE is just a fancy term for cooperative industrial education. But the reality is let's just call it what it is. It's a co-op. And co-op is something that's synonymous with maybe sophomore, junior, senior year in college, maybe on a very small level, high school seniors. But at MCTS, it's the coup de grace. It's the target objective. It's what every program is working for, because it's a very simple formula. Hey, as a young person, you are interested in the program that you enrolled in. That's A. B, you spend a year in that program learning the theory, the terminology, the practicality. And the C is you get to go out and immerse yourself in that trade your second year during the school year. Now, normally, we don't have students go out on CIE or co-op until, say, the end of the first marking period because there's still things that we want to upload. But during this time of a pandemic, let's face it, if a student can go on a job site where a custom home is being built on Library Place in Princeton and be part of a mechanical contractor or a building team and see the evolution of that job site on a daily basis, which we have students working at 107 Library Place in Princeton. You can Google it, check out the house. The reality is they're following COVID guidelines and they're on a custom home being built. And that's just one example. I have another student working at home. I'm sorry
to interrupt you, but so they're getting that hands-on experience for real and much, much more. And they're getting paid and they're getting 20 credits.
They're getting 20 credits. They're getting paid. Those are all they're important to everybody in the real world. But let's face it. Imagine you're a senior in high school and you love learning about carpentry or loss prevention in a store if you're studying criminalistics. Or you can work for a pharmaceutical company or Shiseido North America, which is a cosmetics company on Prince Heights down the road. These are all opportunities that are out there for our students. And the job market, I hate saying the word job because it's the career market is very much open to hiring our students because they know they have a solid base and they're a buildable candidate with an interest and a passion in the subject matter. Imagine if you're an employer. You own an electrical business, an electrician's business, and you have the opportunity to hire a student that says, hey, I've studied this for a year. I have a 10-hour OSHA card, which all of our second-year students, if they've earned it, which you have to work through the program, but 90% of them have a 10-hour general health and industry OSHA card. And you can hire this person and bring them into your fold and upload them here. Jet electrical testing is a predominant commercial electrician outfit, for lack of a better term, business that partners heavily with PSE&G to do commercial electrical work on substations and other places that are hiring our students. You could name a trade or a program, and I can give you examples of kids that have worked senior year and that will be working. Literally before this podcast, I was typing an email to the director of production at Hamilton Supply, which has these incredible $1 million machines that make custom trim and woodwork that utilize CAD programming as well as an understanding of woodworking and trim. And our students are working there. And this isn't some schleppy McSchlep dead-end job where you press a button and it's mindless. We don't do that. I supervise the program. If the job's a mindless, if the person comes to us with a mindless job, I don't permit that to happen because this is an educational experience.
Mr. Nash, I actually want to chime in for 1 second. Just to clarify, this is for 12th graders only, right? Correct?
So to clarify, it can be for any person that's gone out for 1 year in Mercer County Technical Schools. So it could be a junior year student or a senior year student, depending on the program and depending on what grade they started at MCTS. So an academy student who's in their junior year could, during this COVID pandemic, they normally wouldn't go out on CIE, co-op, or internship, but they could talk with their chef instructor, their STEM instructor, their HSA instructor, and say, hey, listen, if I collaborate using what I've been taught and I secure a position, can I obtain class credit for any type of program that would issue that credit, that hands-on lab component? Can I do that? And we sit down with the instructor and we work it through. So to answer your question, it is normally reserved for senior year students or second year students in a share time program. Yes, but during this pandemic, we can possibly unlock other opportunity. So sorry if it's a convoluted answer, but I got to give it to you straight.
So I know, and you'll be planning on going around to all the Google Classrooms and stuff like that, popping in, explaining this to the students. So keep your eyes peeled.
Absolutely. So of course I'm going to try to unearth and activate as many of these internships while partnering with our instructors, while partnering with the students. I mean, it's a quality, not quantity type of concept, and we really focus on career-based employment that has long-term appeal and traction, that if the student really embraces it and the employer embraces it, it's just a stackable experience that leads to employment during post-secondary, meaning whether the student wants to go to college 2 or 4 year upon graduation, or if they want to go to adult evening school, which happens during the trades. There's an adult school that you go to, and then you work the trade because that's how you learn the trade. You got to work it for 5 to 7 years. Or, however, if they land to go to armed forces and serve in our military, which is a lot of our students do, which is fantastic. Or maybe the student just wants to go to work. I had a student that graduated from electrical last year. They're working for jet electrical testing. He's making $23 an hour, full benefits, 401k, and he's immersed in that. He told me, I'm going to start school after I get a year or two under my belt. And that was his choice. See,
Smart.
That's really all 4 of those pathways are a win, whether it's military, 2 or 4 year college, career-based employment with upward mobility, not just a job, or a trade coupled with schooling. Those are the 4 avenues that we encourage our guys and girls to have on deck upon graduation. And co-op and CIE very quickly allows the student to illuminate that pathway based on their immersion in the career field.
I love it. We're gonna step up and talk about a couple of other things real quick. Looking ahead for the school year, I want to remind everybody to tune in to the principal's office. That is, would you call it, MacGyver, a video podcast?
Yeah, it's a little TV show that you could view on. Show. Yeah, we're putting some production value behind it.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
So that'll be
Dr. Fazone and Mr. Mattia getting their cute little heads out there, talking to the students and parents and telling them everything that's going on for the week.
Yes, and there's actually a form that everybody can access through the video in the description, that if you want to ask questions for the principals to answer, that's an option as well. So if you have any questions, you can voice it and we can answer it.
Outstanding. Typically this time of year, Nash, I go around to the high schools and the middle schools and start recruiting for both our academy programs and our shared time programs. That option is not going to be available this year. We spent the summer Nick and I did, creating videos and promotional material that's going to be sent out to guidance counselors in all the high schools and all the middle schools. And we're going to put it up on social media. We're going to distribute it to the students, parents. This is where you can help us. You can share this stuff. You can like this stuff. You can forward it to a friend. Get that information out there as much as possible, so we can keep spreading the good word about career technical education. Okay. Nash, give me one more positive thing to take us out of here.
I'm excited to report back that we've had multiple students activate their career path by working in the summer and following through with that. We had a student who graduated Mr. Park's class last year, which is Auto Tech Fundamentals, which is a great program. Get ready, parents. Hold on to your hats. This individual graduated from Mr. Park's class and obtained an internship at Princeton Plasma Physics. 57 candidates. 57 candidates applied. 12 were selected during the summer and 4 were retained. And this student from Mr. Park, he goes to Allentown. He went to Allentown High School. He fell in love with MCTS and what we taught. He worked senior year on co-op at American Tire on Quaker Bridge Road, working with a journeyman technician.
I know doing who you're really talking about too.
And he got it. He got into the program. So to just end the story beautifully. So it's a program that's a 4-year apprenticeship engineered by Princeton Plasma Physics. And upon graduation of the program, the student will be earning roughly between $60,000 and $70,000, no school debt, full Princeton University benefits. I mean, if you're sitting here listening to this and not getting goosebumps, I don't know what to tell you. How about a kid who was in an automotive program that studied it, embraced it, found out about this opportunity, applied for it, went for it, and he's now becoming a technician at a plasma physics lab based on his training he received at Mercer County Technical Schools. That's just some neat stuff. That's where we're taking our guys and girls. That's just one snapshot of candidates that embrace who we are and what we can do. And the sky's the limit.
Outstanding. I myself heard from a whole mess of students over the summer talking about where they're going to school, where they're going to college, what their game plans are, all that career-based employment. Everything you were just talking about is really coming to fruition for a lot of our graduates. So that's wonderful news. Thank you for bringing that up. I think that's a nice note to go out on, gentlemen. I want to remind everybody to like this podcast and share it and tell a friend about it. You can listen on Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. Check out our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't done it already, and all kinds of content popping up there. Same for our Facebook page. Check out our website. We have many other social media platforms. There's Twitter. There's Pinterest rather. There's interest in our Pinterest.
I love it.
So a lot of great stuff coming at you. Keep your eyes peeled for future content on all of those social media platforms. And until that time, this is Mr. Orfe along with my friend Mr. Nash and the great Nick MacGyver-Sikowski inviting you to discover your passion
And unlock your future.